Hey guys, it's Sandeep from RevWireless and welcome back to yet another video, and today we are taking a look at the camera review on the Realme 7. Now before we get this started, please do make sure to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications to avoid missing any videos from us in the future. Now let's begin the video. Realme 7 comes with a quad camera setup that comprises of a primary Sony IMX682 sensor. This has 64 megapixels of resolution, a large 1 by 1.73 inch sensor size, as well as f1.8 aperture. The secondary camera is an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with f2.3 aperture and 119 degree field of view. Apart from this, you also get two 2 megapixel sensors, of which one is a portrait lens in black and white and the other is a macro lens with a minimum focusing distance of 4 centimeters. In terms of image quality, the Realme 7 produces good looking photos both in terms of the colors as well as white balance. The colors are notably much more natural compared to some of the older Realme phones, and this is a good change. In terms of dynamic range, this is pretty good as well. But you can also make use of the night mode, which actually does improve the dynamic range even further, particularly in terms of the shadows, where it helps you extract more information. In terms of sharpness and detail, we expected better results from the 64 megapixel Sony IMX682. However, this is a result of the processing that Realme applies as well as the ISP that's there on the phone. This can be examined if you actually closely compare both the regular JPEGs as well as a raw photo that has been processed manually, and you will see a huge difference both in terms of the sharpness, detailing and lack of the watercolor sort of effect that plagues the regular JPEG images from the Realme 7. At a glance, the images look fine, but then again when you pixel peep, you do notice these sort of issues. In fact, this is also evident when you compare the 64 megapixel photo mode with the night mode or regular HDR mode, and this showcases the fact that this could be an issue with the HDR stacking and the subsequent processing, which results in lower amount of detail, the watercolor sort of effect, as well as the higher contrast levels. Because the sharpness and detail are much better on the 64 megapixel mode, where in theory the pixel bin image should be much sharper and have higher levels of detail. The pixel bin images are shot in 16 megapixels, but if you choose, you can shoot in 64 megapixels of resolution, which will give you much better details and sharpness, and also file sizes that are around 4 to 5 times that of the pixel bin images. Coming to low light performance, the Realme 7 offers a well exposed frame, be it in regular mode or in night mode, but one thing that's apparent in both these modes is the presence of high levels of noise. In scenes with a decent number of light sources, the noise gets masked to a certain extent, but pixel peeping will actually reveal that there's not too much detail or sharpness and the noise actually exists. Using night mode does give you a better exposed frame as well as more details from the shadows, and the added clarity also gives the perception of higher detail and sharpness, but at the end the noise still remains more or less the same and is visible as well. The portrait mode is just okay, considering that the edge detection is not all that great. You have edge bleeding as well as portions which are missed in terms of the blurring, and overall there's an inherent softness to the image in terms of the portion in focus, be it a subject or an object. The ultra wide angle camera has great dynamic range and a much wider field of view that helps capture dramatic looking images, but the images here are again softer and less sharp compared to the primary camera. In terms of the color tonality, they are quite close, but then again you do notice that the images from the ultra wide angle camera are slightly higher in terms of the saturation levels. Low light performance is definitely not a strong suit for the ultra wide angle camera, and using night mode does make things a slight bit better, but again not all that great, and unless you have good lighting conditions, be it artificial or otherwise, the results are not all that impressive even with night mode. Coming to a macro camera, again we have a 2 megapixel macro sensor here, and while this was maybe acceptable when macro cameras came out in the beginning, the quality from this is not all that great, and we would not suggest using this, and you would actually get better results capturing with the primary camera and then cropping in later to get better quality photos. In terms of front-facing camera, you get a 16 megapixel unit with f2 aperture, which actually does show the EXIF information as being f2.1, and we have the feeling that it actually is maybe f2.09 or something, so Realme chose to average it out to 2 instead of f2.1. The results from the front-facing camera are decent but not all that great, especially in terms of the detail and sharpness. And while the dynamic range is decent, one issue that we spotted with the phone was the fact that it often chooses to overexpose the frame, and you often have to tap on yourself or manually adjust the frame in order to get a decently exposed photo. Coming to portrait mode, for some weird reason it actually captures in just 4 megapixels of resolution compared to 16 megapixel sensor resolution. And while we have seen smartphones crop in a bit using the portrait mode, we have not seen smartphones reduce the resolution by 75%. The portrait mode on the front facing camera does better than the rear facing camera, but then again there are issues with edge detection which are hopefully ironed out with a software update. In terms of video recording, the phone can go all the way up to 30 FPS on 4K resolution, and this is one of the limitations that the IMX682 sensor has apparently, compared to the IMX686, which can actually do 4K 60 FPS video. Now in terms of video quality, the 4K 30 FPS mode is pretty good, albeit without EIS, and that looks a bit unrefined. If you want to get EIS, you have to make use of the 1080p 30 FPS option, which is much better and looks overall more refined compared to the 4K 30 FPS or 1080p 60 FPS modes, both of which do not have EIS. So make use of those only if you have a stable surface or a gimbal, for example. In case you need to take more action-packed shots or have more movement, you can also make use of the ultra steady mode, and we did a comparison here with the ultra steady mode on and with the ultra steady mode off, and there is a huge difference in terms of the amount of shakes that are captured in terms of video. The front-facing camera can capture 1080p 30fps video without EIS, and like we noted with the photo mode on the front camera, this too has an issue where it tends to overexpose, so I had to manually lock the focus onto my face and expose it for the same. But then what happened was exposure shifting due to the fact that the camera was moving and I was also moving, and this was also an issue that was there with the rear-facing camera videos, albeit to a lesser extent. This is the front-facing camera on the Realme 7 capturing 1080p 30fps video. Let me know what you guys think about the overall sharpness, dynamic range, how well is picking my voice in this scenario, and the stabilization as well. Slow motion videos are good and can be captured at a maximum of 240fps at 720p, and you can also record time-lapse videos at maximum of 1080p, and the quality is decent but not all that great. Overall, the Realme 7 camera setup seems decent, especially the primary camera is one that has good capabilities, and we saw that when we processed the JPEG images from the RAWs that we captured. However, the issue with the Realme 7 camera lies in the processing, and that really needs to be fine-tuned in order to get better results from the camera. So as of now, I can't really say that this is a great camera phone, but I'm hoping that with updates Realme does improve it and brings it in line with some of the other good camera phones that we saw in the past. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, do let us know in the comment section below. See you again in the next one, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button.